Hey, what's up guys? It's Chuck from Brady Adventures, and today we're going to talk about the LED lights that we have installed in the back of the Land Cruiser. I've had a few people ask me questions about those, and when you go poking around on Amazon, it can be a little challenging figuring out what's what. If you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, click the bell for alerts, leave us any questions or comments you have below, and definitely check out the description for links to some of the products that we're talking about. He blows goats, I have proof. When I first got these LEDs, I just was running them out on my awning so I could have some colorful lights for the kids. They thought they were really cool. I had no idea what I was getting. I just picked something that said 12 volt and ordered it. Eventually I decided to install these in the back of the Land Cruiser for general lighting. Even with this simple remote that I have, I can brighten and dim the strip. I can run through these different programs. I can put it on a particular color if I want. I can't do lots of different colors, but I can do red, green, blue, and just white light. And so that's worked out really good for back here in the back of the vehicle. The LED strip goes right down in below my drawers right here. Excuse all the junk. This is the actual controller. This is a really simple RF controller. Some of them are actually little plastic boxes. The strip itself has a plug that comes out of it, so you have the option of hooking DC directly. That's where the AC adapter would be wired. And then I have this wiring running up to my fuse block. These controllers definitely pull a little bit of power, so if you wire it directly to your fuse block, this could be something that bleeds your battery over time. I noticed that after a while, so what I'm going to end up doing is actually rewiring it to my little blue C panel here, so these won't actually be on unless I turn that on. I wanted to share with you some of the common features and things that you're going to see on some of these LED strip kits on Amazon. The second strip that I got was not addressable, and I actually intended to hook it up with this one and do some more lighting, so I bought a handful of connectors, this strip, and I got it and I looked at it and I'm like, these aren't going to connect, because this one had 3 conductors and the other strip had 4. And that's where I started digging in and trying to figure out what all this stuff was. And the first thing is LED type. A lot of the LEDs are going to be SMD5050 LEDs. All that is really telling you is the size of the LED itself is 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters, and it has 3 individual LEDs, a RGB LED, so that it can create those different colors. The next thing you're going to want to look at is LED density. Some of the strips come with 300 LEDs per 5 meters and some with 150. I'm generally looking for the ones with 150 because I'm very power conscious and I'm trying to minimize that draw on my battery system. The next thing you're going to want to look for is waterproofing. Some of the LED strips are not waterproofed and some are. The ones that are have a silicone coating over the LEDs and the connectors, so you're probably going to want waterproofing just so it's going to hold up for your adventures. Another thing you're going to want to look for is whether they have backing adhesive or not. What I have found is that the adhesive on the back of the LEDs is really not all that strong, so there is some stronger adhesive strip that you can purchase, and you can put that between the adhesive that comes on there and wherever you're sticking it to. It holds a lot better. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Voltage is going to be very important. A lot of these kits come with a transformer that transforms 120 into whatever DC voltage the strip runs on. I've seen strips that are 3 volts, 5 volts, 12 volts, 24 volts, and there's probably other ones. For something that you're going to put into your vehicle, you want to make sure it's 12 volts. This is a big one, whether the strip is addressable or not. You're also going to see them called addressable, programmable, Dreamcolor, or color chasing. All those kind of terms are referring to a strip where every 3 LEDs actually has an integrated circuit, and you can control the colors of the LEDs across the whole strip in 3 LED chunks. And that gives you the ability to do things like some of these color chasing and where you see multiple colors moving across. The standard ones can only do 1 color for the whole strip at a time. The main thing to look for is Dreamcolor. That seems to be what a lot of the manufacturers refer to the IC chipped addressable strips as. Controller types. So the controller is going to be able to determine what colors you can do, what patterns you can do, and how you communicate with the strip to turn it on and off and change all those different features. There's ones that come with remotes, like this one, and this is an RF remote, and I'll show you the controller. It's wired down here, and then that controls what happens up here. The controller is what you're wiring into your 12-volt power, and then that's feeding the signal to your strip. There's also ones that run off of Wi-Fi and can connect to your Alexa. There's ones that connect to your phone through Bluetooth and an app. There are also controllers that do the IR remote and the Bluetooth, and so there's a lot of different combinations. You want to be careful with the Wi-Fi ones because they're not going to work if you're running out disconnected in your vehicle. Another feature a lot of people like is the music sync. So if you're hanging out camping and you have some music playing, some of them actually have a built-in mic and will run the light strip to your music. The other thing to think about is the length of strip that you need. Most kits either come with a 16.4 foot length or two 16.4 foot lengths, giving you 32.8 feet. You can do longer setups in like home situations with special controllers and things. But for me and what I've been doing, 16 feet or 32 feet is plenty. Some of those that are 32 feet actually run two independent lines and the controller is going to be in the middle, and some will run them end to end. One thing that can happen with long LED strips is towards the end of the strip, the LEDs can actually be a little bit dimmer. Just about all of them, you can cut the LED strip every 3 LEDs. You're going to be able to see those little connectors and you cut right through the middle of them. I did just order another strip. It is a Dreamcolor Bluetooth enabled music sync strip that I'm going to actually put up in the roof nest. I hope some of these factors will help you figure out what kind of LED strips to get for your rig. It can be a little confusing when you get on there at first, but if you think about the handful of things that I've laid out, it should be good to go. If you have any questions about any of this, definitely ask me. I'd be happy to answer your questions and point you to an LED strip that might work for whatever you're trying to do. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for alerts, and keep an eye out for our upcoming video where we get our music synced LED strip up in the roof nest. And thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. And always feel free to leave us any comments or questions that you might have.